Hi everybody, it's Sally. I decided today that I'm going to take some of these little linen painting panels. They're primed 4x6, and that one wasn't dry on the back, which is okay. Anyways, I painted them, base coated them with unbleached titanium acrylic. And I'm going to just do sort of a abstract that kind of covers all four of these. I don't know if you can tell with this one, it was painted previously, base coated with a couple of different colors, and then I never did anything with it, so I just painted over top of it. But I think I'm just going to take, I'm going to paint these, but then I'm going to mount them to this 12x12 canvas. And I'll do something on that too. I was kind of thinking of base coating it and then using this Tim Holtz typeset collage paper. I'll see when I get there. It'll depend on what happens with these little panels. But for right now, just to kind of hold them in place and for me to get an idea of how they all look together on this canvas, I'm just going to put a loop of painter's tape on the back of them just to keep them from moving around on me while I'm working on them. So those will stay put. Now I'm thinking that I want to start with these three colors. I have Gamboge Hue, which is this kind of really bright yellow, a Payne's Gray, these are all fluid acrylics, and Quinacridone Nicolazo Gold, which I absolutely love. And I have three partial bottles of this, so I'm going to try and at least use one of them up. So I'm going to try and stay small, and I'm going to start with the dark, I think. The nice thing about abstract is that it doesn't have to end up looking like anything. And let's see, I'm just gonna put that there, and then maybe I will do lines on this one. And what do I want to do here? Let's just do a kind of a fat rectangle. And this is just a starting point. I want the same color in approximately the same amounts on each panel, but not necessarily the same shape. Obviously, I don't want each one of them to, I do want each one of them to be different, but harmonious. So I'm just going to start and see where it ends up going. Okay. And maybe I'll just put a circle inside of there. This is really intuitive, you guys. I have no plan. I don't know how I want them to look in the end. I think they'll kind of tell me, which is kind of the fun part about doing an abstract. I mean, you want to think a little bit about composition and, you know, color harmony, yada yada, but it's not like painting a portrait where, you know, it needs to end up looking like someone, or at least looking like a human being. Yeah, so I should have just thrown that away. It's full of kind of gobby paint. So I'm going to wipe that up and we'll get the other bottle out. But there's not really much to say. It's just a process of working through making marks and shapes and varying the sizes of the shapes, the placement, the colors. I may break out some of this titanium, what is it, unbleached titanium. I'm going to put some of this down because I might mix some of those to get some shades of those colors as well. So I will just speed this up. So what I'm doing here is taking a little bit of each of these colors that I've used in different amounts, because if I put too much blue in with the orange, I'm going to get brown, and I don't want brown. But they're complementary colors, so that's what would happen. I would just get kind of a muddy brown color. So I just put just a tad of the blue, and I got this pretty green color. So I'm going to use that as a wash over the top of this first layer to kind of unify the layers. I'm going to make it real wet. It will change the colors somewhat, which is fine. But what it's going to do is just kind of unify these pieces. Kind of bring them together a little bit more. Make them a little more harmonious. Actually, I may use this, I've been using this old dish towel just for cleanup and stuff. It's got some good texture. I'm just going to go in with this, and it's dry, so I won't take off as much as I would with a wet baby wipe, which will be better. Just giving me that kind of modelly background look. But you see how it brought everything together? It did lift a little bit of that there, but that's okay. I can turn it around. And sometimes if you change the orientation, you'll see things that you want to change, or things that you don't like, or maybe you like better in one way or another. I don't think these are at that point yet. A long way to go. Alright, I'm going to go back to the speeded up version, and I'll just add another layer. I'm going to dry this layer first though. Okay, I am going to add some peeled paint, distress paint, just for a little bit of a accent color, I guess, for want of a better word. Okay, so I put 3 spots of peeled paint, and I chose this only because I know the blue and yellow will make a green, so I knew that would mix well with the colors that are already down here. They look a little dull. Add a little white here and there just to kind of brighten it up. And I mean, they dulled down because of that mixture, the wash that I put on. Made them a little bit duller. So this was golden titanium white. I always have a tendency to hold things up here and then you can't see it. Sorry. Okay, I think that helped. I may need some more. Okay, I decided to use a stencil to add a little more texture and another layer, and I'm just going to add some more white and see if I like it or not. Okay, that's enough, I think. Take a minute and wipe that off. Okay, I have some Winsor & Newton calligraphy ink and a dip pen, and I'm just going to just come in here and make some kind of flowery, I guess, petal marks. I'm going to take a skewer. You can clean your pan off and use your pan or whatever. And I could just dip into the ink, I suppose, if I want. That's kind of what I wanted, was just some lines. I could have done that with my pen. Well, this has given me a little bit thicker lines than what I would have gotten with my pen, so. It's not completely dry, but it's almost. I think I'm going to go in with the quinacridone Nickel Azo Gold, because I know that that's transparent. And I need a smallish flat brush. That might be too small. Let's go with this one. This is a number 8 shader. And I'm going to turn this around. that's it. That's all I wanted to do. Just give them a little shadow of color. So now I am going to leave it for a bit. Going to go get some coffee and maybe some lunch. What time is it? This time change has me all still kind of frizzled out as far as, is it lunchtime? Is it bedtime? What time is it? My clock says 10 after 11 in the morning, so okay, I'll be back. Hi guys, I'm back. I have this Joggles stencil that is called Concentric. It's sort of like a stencil mask. But what I thought I might try is, you notice I put those small little canvas panels together almost as though they're one big piece. And I'm going to use the peeled paint, and I'm going to find areas where I can go where it overlaps more than one panel. And I'm just going to go in and do this. And I'm going to look at that, and if I don't like it, then I won't do any more. But when they're taken apart, I think it will kind of look kind of cool. Even though I didn't have them in this orientation of all the up and down orientation. Some of them I had in landscape. But I think that's okay. Now let's see, how about here? And a smaller one here. Okay, I'm going to take these and set them aside to dry a little longer. Okay, so I set those on my chair, so I hope I don't forget and back up and sit down on them. Now let's see how badly this is marred up. This is already primed. I was thinking of putting the Tim Holtz paper on here. I'm going to lay some down and then not glue it, but just lay it down and see if it's too busy to have those pieces on top. It may just be bad. It probably will be. Oh yeah, that's not the answer. Okay. Just give this a base coat of this green, I think. I'm just going to dump some on here. And I'll probably water it down some with my brush. I will water it down some with my brush. Okay, I am going to put a finish on this. This is dry. I like Final Coat. This is a low gloss. You can get it in a couple different finishes, but it dries really fast. You can tint it. There's no VOCs or anything, you know, bad in it as far as breathing it in or whatever. So basically all you do, a soft damp rag. So I'll dry it and then I'll let it sit for a while and do something else, and then I'll come back. Okay, everything, the little pieces and the base canvas has 3 coats of the final coat, and it's dry. So I am going to use the Liquitex Matte Super Heavy Gel to put these down, and I have a book underneath here and that I'll move this as I go so that I can press down without stretching my canvas. So I'm just going to put a bunch of this on. I don't want it oozing out the sides, but I want enough that it's going to hold this on here, because this will go to the art show with me next weekend, I guess that is. I don't want to be selling something that's going to fall apart. Then I want kind of even here to here. And then I'll eyeball this, because as I've told you before, I'm a measure twice, cut once. It's still not right kind of gal, so I'm not even going to bother to measure it and mark it off. And ooh, that's stuck like right now. That's good, I guess. Okay, then over here I will line it up here and try and go for the same amount of margin on the side. And I'm glad to know that that stuck really good. Like when something sticks like right now like that, to me it gives me confidence that it's gonna stay stuck, because I know it's not dry, but it is stuck pretty good. I just want to get it even as much as I can. Which way do I want to go with this? Well, up and down for sure. That way or this way. This way. Well, I lost a little bit at the very end here, but you can see that turned out pretty good. I'm happy with it. Thanks for coming along and watching this one. And no, it was a long one, so if you stuck with me to the end, thanks for that. And I hope you will try some abstract painting of your own. It's a lot of fun. And in the meantime, go make some art. Bye.